Come here, all right? Okay. And let's go get the corner. Look at the corner.
Look at the left side.
Left corner, please.
This way. This way, please. Look in there, please.
One more time to the corner.
I want you to the left. Look in there, please. On your left, take it away. Yeah, look in there, please.
Okay, let's have the corner.
Accept the card.
Yes.
Start your place. Start on this part, please.
Okay.
Look in there, please.
So we do the same thing when we stop from here, all right?
One line, please. Okay. Look straight, everybody. Look
Right to the corner,
Look in there,
please.
please. And look over here in the center.
Okay, in the middle. Yes, look out. Down. To your right now. To your right.
Look in there, please. Look in there, please. This way, please.
Go. Center, please.
Look in here. Look in here. Right, please. This way, please.
Okay. Okay, lady. Yes, sir.
Okay, and start on your left side, please. Start on your left side. Start on your left side. Yes. Okay. Yeah, head. And look straight now.
Over here, please. In the corner.
Yeah, look in here, please.
Lady.
Yeah, look in here, please. Left side, please. Look in here, please. This way, please. Look in the left. Left side, please. Left side. Hey, look in here. Look in here. Look in here, please.
Over here, please. You forget us.
Yeah, look in here, please. This way. This way, please. This way.
Tony, in the corner, please.
Down, single. This way. Single.
Can we have single?
Yeah, look in here.
Single.
Aber jetzt ist sie allein.
Okay.
Look at your left side, please.
Tony, up here. Take a walk.
Left, left.
Okay, this way.
And the very face, please. Yeah. Look at.
Good up, please.
Okay, look at your left side, please.
Up in the corner, please.
Right to the corner.
You switch.
Okay, stop.
The opening film was made by the president of the jury himself. Therefore, naturally, it was shown outside of competition. A new work by Kar-Wai. It relates the story of Kung Fu master Ip Man. This is the second martial arts film by Kar-Wai after Ashes of Time, shot in 1994. And once again, the brilliant action and combat scenes serve a deeper purpose, mirroring the inner world and emotions of the protagonists. This is the jury's president, Mr. Kar-Wai's press conference for the Grandmaster.
我是今小看着我父亲跟人交手长大的。我爹常说我这种人唱戏能成名角，出家能做高僧，因为我会迷。在我爹身上，我看到的不是招，是义。
接了我大师兄的班，主事中华武士会。爹这辈子做了30年的面子，我是老了。新人要出头，我的班他接了，当然得大家认可才行啊。挑一个吧。好功夫啊！ 叫什么名字？叶问。
你在北方的老哥们儿都不赞成这场比赛。
你可要想清楚啊，那可是回不了头的。
宁可一丝进，
我在一死听。
回不了头。
那我公家的东西。 就不能留在你的身上了。
你爹最后的话，不问恩仇。
功夫2個字，一橫一直，企得翻喺度嗰個先至啱晒，係咪咁話？
Okay, thank you.
Dankeschön, thank you. Could you please sit down so we can start the press conference? Dankeschön. Setzen Sie sich bitte, damit wir mit der Pressekonferenz
beginnen. Do please all sit down so we can start the press conference.
Could you please sit down? Dankeschön.
Do please sit down and then we can start the press conference.
Warten noch hier vorne, dann können wir auch beginnen. Please sit
Please
down and
do
also
take
in
your
front
seats.
so we can start the press conference. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the opening press conference for the 63rd International Film Festival in Berlin, screening out of competition. 一代宗师 The Grandmaster. I hope I did some kind of good.
Pretty close.
Pretty close. Okay, I don't know what I was saying. I hope it didn't bother you too much. So, welcome. We have a wonderful people here for the opening press conference, and have a welcome for the cinematographer Philippe Lesot. playing the part of Ip Man. Have a welcome for Tony Leung. Quite about 3 hours ago, we had him here as the president of the international jury. Now we have him here as the director and producer of this movie. Have a welcome for Wong Kar-Wai.
Thank you.
And it's wonderful to have her for the third time here in Berlin. Have a welcome for Zhang Dei, playing the part of Gang Er. Maybe before we start the questioning, Mr. Wong, could you please give us a shortcut about this tremendous history of the movie? Because this is a long history in making this movie, to bring it here, how you get the first idea from then to now, a shortcut to get us into this press conference.
So first of all, it's I have an idea of this film in 1999 when I have a chance to look at a documentary of the Grandmaster Bruce Lee, Ip Man, who's the mentor and the teacher of the legendary Bruce Lee. And that documentary actually is a family video. And it was shot 3 days before he passed away. So in this documentary, it is a demonstration of the Wing Chun 108 combinations, and which is a long demonstrations. And he was very ill by then. And from that video, in fact, it is not a video, it is a Super 8. And you can see this old man, 70-something, very weak, wearing his pajamas in his living room doing these demonstrations. You can see the cats, you can see the grandchildren around. And because it is a very long demonstration, almost until the end of it, he stopped. And we don't actually see what's his face looked like. But from the back, we know it's a moment of a very agonizing moment, because either he's too weak, or he's too tired to carry on, or he simply forgot it. And that's the moment that really moves me. Later on, he carried on this demonstration and finished it. And this is the only archive shot of these demonstrations. Because we all know the 108 combinations is a very important part of the Wing Chun school. And in fact, a lot of people, including Bruce Lee, offer him a lot of money to do demonstration for them personally. And he refused, because he's actually very poor at that point. Because he said, this skill should be left. I'm not going to do it for one person. If I have to leave it, it should to all my students. And I think this is the spirit of what we name a person a grandmaster. Someone can be a good fighter, but that doesn't mean he's a grandmaster. For grandmasters, there's one thing, is he has the generosities. He has the responsibilities to, first of all, carry on the torch and to pass the skill that he inherits from the early generations, from his master to the next generations. A lot of people call the Grandmaster a Kung Fu film. Is it your first Kung Fu film? I said, it's more than that. Grandmaster actually is a film about Kung Fu. It tells you more than the skill. It tells you more about these people, martial artists, the world of martial arts. What is their code of honor? What is their value? What is their philosophies? I think this is something that are really fascinating, and I think it's also a new chapters in this genre. And I hope this film can bring the audience a new perspective about martial art, Kung Fu, and also Chinese. Thank you.
Question here, please, in the middle. Could you please stand up?
My question, hello, my name is Anne-Christine.
Hi.
Hi. This morning I received this. Film loves beauty. I think it pretty much epitomizes your film, even in the colors. when I was teaching Chinese students, I was amazed that suddenly I was upgraded to a god. They would never tell me anything that I was doing false. Never, never. And when I asked them, I had a chorus of girls who just did that. And it was very frightening.
Where you came from?
I was doing that here in Germany.
Yes.
And they were direct from China, different places in China.
Right.
And I was thinking about you, thinking, how do you direct when you're such a world-famous director? How do you direct people who are so respectful of your work? How do you work with actors in the Chinese culture, in a culture where the word no doesn't exist? It's just not yes. Bushide.
I think you're very lucky you have a very respectful students, but on film set doesn't apply this way. And in a way, we are actually very Westerns on film sets. And if you want to know more about this, you should ask our cast here and also the DP. So, would you like to say something, Philippe?
No, I think Kar-Wai is direct as a very generous person. So I think you have a script, and you share the treatment with them. And I think step by step we go from one interpretation to another one. So, but it's really step by step, and everybody brings something on it. So I think it's like an old master. We are sharing, bringing the torch to the other people.
Yeah, too modest. Okay.
It used to be a very frustrated. No, this is a compliment. Because we used to have little hints at the very beginning.
See, you see that, right?
It used to be like an adventurous journey every time. But this time, I think I'm the most lucky guy. I have something to work on. At least I have the real man to work on. I have the real character. So to me, I think it's the most enjoyable Wong Kar-Wai film. I don't mean I don't enjoy the previous collaboration with him, but this time is much more enjoyable because at least I know who I am, and when I no, this is a compliment, and because. I know he has the script, but he never showed us the script. We only have the script that day. So sometimes if you are not very sure who you are or your character, then you will be very frustrated because, different personality will have different attitudes towards something happen in life. So this time I'm very lucky because I know exactly who I am and I know how to deal with different situations. So although although we practiced Kung Fu for 4 years non-stop, even during shooting, but I think it's worth, and I learned a lot from this process, and working with all these talented people together is really fun. Yeah.
For me, even though I didn't know what I'm doing, but I still think I'm the luckiest actress in the world for what I learned from the whole process. I just, how long we shot this movie for? Like
20 months.
20 months over 3 years.
Yeah, but if Wong Kar-Wai asked me again to give, this amount of time, I would do it again. That's how great he is.
See?
Your question here, please.
Hello, my name is Cameron. I'm from Turkish press here in Berlin. Thank you for the great movie. It's very, I like it so much. My question is going to Wong Kar-Wai. How important was it for you to make this movie, and what was the biggest challenge for you? And to the both actors, to Tony Leung and Ziyi Zhang, what was the biggest challenge for you to play your part? Thank you.
The biggest challenge for me is basically I don't practice martial arts. Even though I'm a big fan of martial arts, not only the skill, even cinema, novels. But the thing is, it's during this journey, I'm really amazed by this experience, by this world. In fact, most of the time when we talk about martial artists, they are fighters. Some of them we would think, well, they are very violent, or they take the measure of settle things by force. But in fact, during my journey, I'm on the road for 3 years to do interviews with all these masters, grandmasters. There's one thing that impressed me a lot. It's about their modesties. They are very humble. Because today, for a lot of people, martial art means sports. And some people consider martial art as something like yoga, is for your good health. But in a classic sense, martial art is a weapon. It's for defense, and it can kill. The reason about why these masters are so humble, so modest, because they know very well, they have weapons in their hand. And they are all very disciplined people. So, and from there you can see there's a different aspects about our impressions about Kung Fu, and which is something that I want to convey to the audience. In the film, there's one scene, there's one young child looking into this school through a window, full of curiosities. That could be me, because when I was young, I also had that experience. And as a filmmaker, it's also me as the very start, at the very beginning of this process. And at the end, it's still me, because this journey is so interesting, but there's so many layers. I wish I could spend more time on that. Thank you.
To the both actors, the question goes as well. Tony and Ziyi. No, the question also was for Tony and Ziyi. What was your greatest challenge in doing the movie?
I think my biggest challenge is to play a Grandmaster. I think to portray a character is not that difficult when you compare to portray a Grandmaster. Because I know nothing about Kung Fu like Kar-Wai, and I study Kung Fu, and I know after 4 years of hard training, I understand Kung Fu is not just a physical training or fighting techniques. To me, I think is a way of mind training, as well as the way to life, the way of life. So there is a spiritual side of Kung Fu, and that side you cannot be learned from books or by facts finding or instruction by facts. It grows spontaneously with a mind free of emotions and desires. So that's why I have to practice 4 years. You can only have that kind. You can only achieve that thing through practice. I don't create all that theory. I just study the theory and how the Kung Fu greats understand Kung Fu in that way. I just try to understand them. I follow their direction, and I try to understand through practice. I think that's the most challenging thing for me, to start learning Kung Fu at the age of 46 and to do a lot of stunts by myself and to understand Kung Fu. I think that's very, very challenging for me.
I completely agreed.
But maybe Philip, you can add also, because I know you're not so very known to martial arts as well as a cinematographer.
No, I think it was a discovery, same as Kar-Wai. You know, we went together. Kar-Wai, when he presented me the film, he came with full of documentation and everything to me, but to this journey, so we have to study every movement, every angle position, every light, everything interesting to bring something different to the martial arts. But I think it's a journey by himself. It's very strange. I heard more about journeys than the film by himself, and I think what is bring everybody together, that we went all together to the journey, and we discover step by step, every moment on this film, and every character, and every angle we could approach the film. So it's more finally, it's a film, but it was a journey by himself, by spirituality of it.
I think at the end of the film, we have a quote from Bruce Lee. It's a true martial artist doesn't live for, he simply live. I think this is also about this journey. It's like no matter how many archive or informations or reference that you learn, but you have to went through it, then you will understand this process, understand what it means. I think this is the best quote for the film.
There's a question on the right side. Could you please stand up?
Yes, hello. My name is Konstantin Goldenstrike. It's NTV, Russian channel. First of all, thank you so much for this splendid movie. And I've got a question to von Kar-Wai, connected not directly with this movie, but with your work in this festival jury, which is very important, surely. In the interview that you've given to the newspaper Die Welt, the German newspaper, you acknowledged that you had to watch kind of 3 films per day last week. I wanted to ask you in this connection, there's a huge bunch of movies dedicated to the social, economical, financial problems like Gus Van Sant's Promised Land or Russian Long Happy Life, and many others. Some of them are even not in the main competition. But how do you think this focus to the social, economical problems, is it just a coincidence in your opinion this year in Berlinale, or maybe it's a kind of reflection of the movie industry trying to cope with the general crisis in Europe and worldwide? What is it? Thank you so much.
I think we all have our inspirations from life, and the selections this year, I just watched 1 film so far, because our main program starts tomorrow, but you can actually, and I don't know if all the films are addressing the same issue or different issues or more social conscious, but the thing is, I really think it's what we did as a filmmakers. Basically, we took stories from what's around us, the inspirations from life. And if that's the case this year, then that means it's something that we should concern, we should aware of. Thank you.
Question here in the middle.
Tang Zhiqiang from China Xinhua News Agency. My question goes to Mr. Wang Kar-Wai. The first is, what role do you think a movie should play? Is just by telling a story or teaching something to your audience? And my second question is, in your opinion, how could Chinese movies be better accepted and understood by its international audience? Thank you.
It's a big question. First of all, I think films serve several purposes. And for some, it is entertainment. For some, it's expressions. And I think there's one example which is very, very interesting, which I think is the best, from my personal point of view, it's about what a film is to a filmmakers. When we have the premiere in Beijing a few weeks ago, one of my writers, Zhao Jingzi, he's a very interesting man. He's too nervous to watch the film with the audience. So she sneaked into the press screening in the morning, 9 o'clock. And he looked at the film, and he feel very, very emotional afterwards. But somehow, he don't have any friends around because he don't want to bring people there. But he has a lot of things to say. So he just picked up his cell phone and called up a friend he haven't spoke with for a long time. And he just keep talking for half an hour. And I think for us, as a filmmakers, it's also the same experience. We have something we want to say, we have something we want to share with people, and that's why we need the audience, and to share with us about this like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. For people, some people think this is a message. For some people think this is entertainment. Or for some people think this is bullshit, you know?
A question, please.
My question to the director of the movie, Wong Kar-Wai. The question is, Bruce Lee introduced the martial arts to the world, and he made later on movies.
Where are you?
Excuse me, here, the photographer. Okay.
You're from Buenos Aires, right?
No, I'm basically from India. I live in Germany now.
Okay.
Okay. So the question is, Bruce Lee introduced the martial art Kung Fu to the world, right? And later on he made the movies with other Hollywood stars like Chuck Norris, Bob Wall, John Saxon, and so on. And later on, Jackie Chan did the same, but in another way. So the question is, can you imagine in the future to make a movie with the Hollywood star and with the Chinese Kung Fu martial art, the combination, like it happened in the past? This is the question. Thank you.
I don't think it's relevant. Either this it is a Hollywood star or Chinese star. I think if you want to make a kung fu film, then you should find the right appropriate cast to able to perform. And the other thing, if you want to make a film about martial art, then you need also more than just a kung fu star, but you also need great actors like these people, who's willing to also practice and to be able to act.
Your question, please, here. Could you please stand up? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Elaine Wong from Hong Kong Cable TV. My question is to Ziyi and Tony. Most of the actors and actresses who have worked with director Wong Kar-Wai before said that they have improved their acting skills in different ways. So to Ziyi and Tony, besides the scars and bruises throughout the training or the shooting, what did you gain throughout your role in the Grandmasters? Any special memories or experiences that you think you will keep forever? Thank you.
I think to me this time is very special for me. Just like what I said, this time I have the real character to work on, and I have a chance to learn Kung Fu, and I learned a lot from it. It really inspired me a lot, not just on acting wise, but even just like I mentioned, the way of life. I didn't understand Kung Fu like this before, and it's really amazing. And I think it how to say, and the process is really interesting, because this time I blend in two characters together. I never did this kind of things before, and this 4 years of process really makes me turn into someone more disciplined and hardworking. I'm used to be a lazy guy.
And to me, I think words cannot really express how much you learn or you grow. But I think the movie just showed everything. And for sure, Wong Kar-Wai can make you a better actor.
Your question in front, please.
My name is Barbara von der Lühe from Berlin, and I have questions to all of you. First of all, congratulations to this wonderful movie.
Thank you.
And my first question to Mr. Wong Kar-Wai, what do you think is the meaning or the importance of martial arts to Chinese society today, and why is Ip Man so popular nowadays, seemingly more than Bruce Lee himself? And now my question to Zhang Ji. Some of your most impressive characters in movies are strong women practicing martial arts. Do you think this is a role model for Chinese women today? And now my question to you, Tony Leung Chiu Wai. Looking back to your first professional encounter, to your work with Wong Kar-Wai, how would you describe your professional relationship from then to now? Thank you. And as the Chinese New Year is close, I wish to you a very happy New Year, Year of the Snail. Thank you.
Thank you. And so I go first. Today, maybe, I think for a lot of the international audience, I'm sure people knows and heard about Yip Man, the Grandmasters, because they have followings. The life of Bruce Lee, because Bruce Lee is actually well famous and it become an icon now today. But for me, I think what makes Yip Man, this person, so popular today, there's two things. First of all, it's when we look at his life basically is almost like the modern history of the early days of our republic. He was born in Qing Dynasty, which is a monarchy at that point. And then he went through the Republic days, Civil War, anti-Japanese war, and ended up in British colony, Hong Kong. And during all these periods, you can see how a martial artist stand up to his principle and his code of honor in front of all this hardship. And I think this is something that make this person so exceptional. And the second thing is about his skill. Wing Chun, basically when he was young, this skill is for elite only because it's very expensive to learn. For each of the generations, there's only not more than 16 pupils. And he's the only persons, and he's the persons that transform this art for the commons. So it becomes so popular today. And the second thing is about why I want to make this film at this point and what martial art means. The reason I didn't call this film Yip Man or a hero of a Wing Chun or a Chinese hero, because I think the film addressed one thing, is the quality of a martial artist, the state of mind of a grandmaster. There's three things. First of all, it's about discipline. They have confidence. They are modest. And most of all, they have the generosities to share their technique, their experience with the younger generations. And I think this is something, this is not also a quality of just martial artists. And I think this is also a part of our culture. And I think this is something that I want to introduce to the world audience about where we came from, who we were. Right. Thank you.
So, short question here, please. No, sorry, we have. Sorry.
I tell you later.
Hi, my name is Tracy Goodwin. I'm also from Xinhua Chinese News Agency. I wish I could ask this question in Chinese, but I can't. Sorry. It's a beautiful film, and I have just two very short questions for Wong Kar-Wai. The first is, why did you choose...
Just one question, please.
One question, okay. It's a very poetic film about with many different language styles of Kung Fu going on. Why do you think Western audiences can understand the poetry and the language involved in your film? And do you think they understand it to the same degree as your fellow countrymen?
Why not? I think, I know it's hard. Even for some Chinese audience, they might not catch the whole meaning. But there's something in this film which is universal. And I think it is about value, it's about the family value, the code of honor. I think this is something that, first of all, I believe international audience can share. And also, if not, I think that will be if they are curious enough. And it is also a step for them to know more, to explore. I think film is not here to, normally people said, well, what is about the story? Sometimes people consider, as a filmmaker, we provide answers. But it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. And we might provide angles, we might provide more questions, so people can carry on if they are more interested about this.
we would provide more questions, but finally the last question, sorry for that.
I have one question for Mrs. Ziyi. Hi, my name is Tobias Schlegel from the ZDF show Aspekte. Mrs. Ziyi, do women fight differently than men in movies and in real life?
You want to try? Step up.
Why not?
In movies, no. In life, maybe.
How?
I think women are stronger in life, and men, good men are they're all generous, so they let the women win.
Thank you.
So what the Berlin Film Festival is very happy and proud to have these strong actors, the strong directors, strong...
So once again, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the Grandmaster opening the Berlin Film 60th.